meeting Wednesday, October 28, 2021 p.m. Zoom teleconference meeting. And this is run by remote participation on executive order of Governor Baker on March 12th, pending certain provisions of the open meeting law. I hereby call the meeting to order. Roll call. Commissioner Collins.
Present.
Commissioner Shea.
Present.
Commissioner O'Brien, present. Chair will wait a motion of the minutes of the open session meeting of October 21st, 2020 for approval.
I'll make a motion. We accept the open session minutes from the meeting of October 21st, 2020.
Second.
There's a motion made and seconded to accept the open session meeting of October 21st, 2020 for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Here are the minutes of the executive session meeting of October 21st, 2020 for approval.
I'll make a motion. We accept the minutes of the executive session of October 21st, 2020, and don't release them at this time for our approval.
Second.
There's a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes of executive session meeting of October 21st, 2020 for approval and not to release the contents at this time. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Do we have any public comment?
Commissioner O'Brien, Rich Kennedy at the registry. How are you today?
I didn't get you, Rich.
Rich Kennedy at the registry.
Yes, good.
I was on last week asking to meet with the commissioners about a couple of changes that were made to the trial balance reporting. And I had a few email letters with Mike this week talking about it. And he told me that he was going to present it to the Abrams group put my question to them, which is fine, but I do have some questions about this that I don't anticipate that Abrams group decisions will become will be showing up anytime soon, and I would definitely like to talk about these changes that have been made to the reporting on the trial balances. So I would just respectfully request to get a chance to sit down and talk about this with the commissioners.
Any comments or suggestions from the commissioners? Commissioner Collins?
I have a question to Mike, Mr. Chairman. So, Mike, when's the Abrams Group going to be addressing this issue?
Yeah, this is one of the issues, in terms of the entire interpretation of Chapter 64D, in Section 12 that we have really focused on, and we've asked the Abrams Group to focus on as well. And when the question actually came up by Mr. Kennedy, in last week's meeting, I followed up with Rich. And at the time I learned specifically what the issue was. The trial balance. The trial balance reports, are reports that are created, by the Treasurer's Office, and that involves, the Treasurer's Office accounting. And because it really doesn't involve the creation of those reports, really doesn't involve the Commissioner's Office. I understood, and I had already been in initial conversations with the Abrams Group, anyways, and I understood already that a really big focus at the outset of this process that the Abrams Group is hoping to really dive into, are the trial balance reports, how our accounts, how our monthly balances are reconciled and published in the entirety as well. That being said, especially because these reports aren't created by the commissioners, I thought it best rather than having any back and forth while the issue was like actually being looked at by the Abrahams group. In line with what our best practices should be, as a county as a whole. It just really makes sense to have the Abrams group involved, so we don't have two concurrent conversations and examinations into the same issue happening at the same time, Mr. Chairman.
So, Mike, what would be the timeline to hear back from the Abrams group?
The process will be like a months-long process. However, in our conversations with the Abrahams group, I mean, I can't, give you an exact answer, but the Abrahams group, they know this issue is a priority. And frankly, what the registry is hoping will happen here, is the 100% number that of the deed exercise that is being reported by the treasurer's office in the trial balance. What the registry wants is that 100% number also broken down into 60%, and 40%. And I would argue that anyone in the meantime, if they wanna see what the breakdown is, they could multiply the 100% by 0.60, and they can multiply the number by 0.4, and they'd be able to come up with the same exact information which they're hoping will be published. So, the issue is going to be looked at. We want it and expect it to be looked at, and hopefully, the process will, hopefully the process with the Abrahams group, will allow this whole process, in the reporting of our accounting to be better, understood and agreed upon by all of us.
Okay, so if we can try to expedite this particular issue, that would be helpful to the registry. In the meantime, does this adversely impact the registry of the county while we're waiting for the report, Mike?
No, I don't believe it does, at all, Commissioner.
I don't have any more questions, Fran. Thank you.
Commissioner Shea?
Well, I'm looking at a memo here dated Monday, Tuesday, and then a copy of Richard's memo to Mike on Friday. And in Richard's memo, it says that they talked to Joe DeOria and explained that he's not reporting the registry shares separately, as always had been done in previous years, and that because it is now being included in the budget as an entry into the general fund, et cetera, et cetera. In our effort to do the best practices, I think this is a very good place to start if it's a microcosm of other issues. And I think we're this close. And it's a perfect example of why we hired outside help for this best practice. Now, in a lengthy meeting this week, introductory meeting, because they've hit the ground running and in fact are out into the departments, I think I support asking them to look at this ahead of some other stuff. However, I think we should put it through the whole process. And I don't know the answer. I haven't talked to the treasurer or Joe. I'm just parroting back what I'm reading, and I think it gives us a chance to look into it, and I think it's a great place to start. So I want to stand by what the treasurer says until we hear otherwise, or until the outside counsel advises us in another manner. And then we can meet on it. If we can, I don't know whether an interim meeting would help, but I'm willing to meet with anyone, but I don't know whether it would help. I don't think my thoughts are going to change on this.
Okay. Do you have any questions, Rich?
Chairman O'Brien, thank you. It's just that it seems like this is a major change in the way things have been done since prior till even last year and all the years before that. The things have been reported, the way we report them, the 60-40 split, and it breaks down, the information that people needed to vote on. And like I said, I don't anticipate much of an answer from the Abrahams group, even though I do appreciate them getting the question, it would be helpful, but it won't change anything right now, and I would prefer to, address this right now and to see where we're going.
Okay, so what is the wish of the commissioners that we refer it to the Abrams Group as recommended by the director?
I'll make that motion, and but I would ask that if the Abrahams Group comes back and says it's going to be a lengthy period of time, we can revisit this issue.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, there's a motion made by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Shea, to refer to the Abrams Group and to have it done as fast as possible. And if it's going to be delayed, to come back and to notify the director and the commissioners. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Maintenance Capital Improvement Report. Superintendent John McGowan.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Hi, John.
I'm still handling, trying to wrap up this courtroom plexiglass issue with the state. I'm happy to say that I believe we finished Rentham Court this weekend and yesterday. I think I sent some guys there yesterday to wrap up what they had left. As I stated to you last week, there's a lot of issues that certain judges want some plexiglass changed. They want more openings put in some areas, and this is going to be an ongoing thing. But we've completed all the courtrooms and mostly all the counters that are that are operated in the county. And like I said, we're going to get a lot of feedback from different people that want different things done. And there's one counter in Rentham, I believe, that has to be filled in, but originally they didn't want it. And this is what it's going to be, probably for the next couple of months, maybe longer, I don't know. Joe's going to have to go back and take care of whatever complaints these people have. And there's a lot of issues already, and he's going to be working on those. And I'll keep you informed, but happy to say mostly all the courtrooms are done, and they'll be able to use them if they want to get back into having the public come back in. I'm trying to acquire some rolling petitions, the plexiglass petitions, that were promised to me by the state. I talked to the man, Bill Highgrass, I think his name is, from the state, and he was going to try and make arrangements for delivering 4 of them to me. The district attorney wanted them for Stoughton Court. I got a hold of him yesterday, and he said he was going to try and get it, but what I'm going to do tomorrow is I'm going to send one of the maintenance department staff in there to get them into the Brook town. At the Francis X. Bellotti Courthouse in Quincy, the ductwork cleaning is completed. Got a call there the other day that they were wrapping that up, and I had them change the filters. I know we changed them to our regular PM maintenance on the boiler and the air conditioning units. They would change, but when you do all that brushing and cleaning of all the ductwork, you're bound to have some filters that aren't perfectly clean. So I had them change them all. And we're dealing with wrapping that up, and I know that Mike has a company going around from the state, Teague and Bond, I think. Mm-hmm. He could explain more about that to you than I could. But that's about all I have going right now.
All right, thank you. Any comments, Commissioner Collins?
Nice job, John.
Thank you.
Commissioner Shea?
I'm all set, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, thank you. We have personnel matters of consideration. have a all from the Aggie School. Await a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman. Item
yeah, thank
9, that we approve the 4 personnel matters all at the Aggie School. Change of address, notice of 2 notice of resignation, and a notice of contingent employment for a long-term substitute. A motion that we approve.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to approve the blue paper as submitted by the superintendent of schools for approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Next, we have the payroll and expense warrants for approval. I don't believe we have a copy.
I have a copy of those, Fran, if you want me to read them.
Yes, that would be good. Thank you very much, Commissioner.
Okay. For the payroll and expense warrants for approval for October 28, 2020, I make a motion to approve the county expense warrant of 10/4/21 in the amount of $34,945.43.
I'll second that, Mr. Chairman.
There's a motion made and seconded to present the expense warrants as presented by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Shea. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote.
Okay, I make another motion to approve the county weekly payroll 21-17 in the amount of $142,022.50.
Motion
Second.
made and seconded by Commissioner Collins, second by Commissioner Shea to approve the payroll salary account. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote.
And the third motion to approve the Wollaston sales tax warrant dated 10/22/20 in the amount of $14,207.39.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made and seconded to approve the Walton expense voucher account as presented by Commissioner Collins. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Bid openings, Nancy.
Good afternoon, Commissioners.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hi, Nancy.
Hello. Okay, we have the filed sub bids for the Kemp Hall roof replacement project at the Agricultural High School. The first category will be masonry. The first bid is from Contracting Specialists out of Attleboro, Mass. They have bid $89,965. They are excluding themselves from GVW, G&R, Capeway Roofing, and John Shea Roofing. They have acknowledged addendas 1 and 2. Their bid form is signed. Contractor certification signed. The bid proposal certification signed. Their bid bond is here, their certificate of contractor eligibility, and their update statement. Next is from Commercial Masonry out of Plymouth, Massachusetts. They have bid $66,320. They've acknowledged addenda 1 and 2. Form is signed. Their bid certification, bid bond is attached. Their certificate for contractor eligibility and update statement are included. Next is Folin Waterproofing and Construction out of Southeastern Mass. They've bid $124,200. They've acknowledged addenda 1 and 2. They have their form for bid deposit, their certificate of eligibility, their bid bond. Everything seems to be intact. Next, I have Costa Brothers Masonry out of Fairhaven, Massachusetts. They've bid $131,000. Acknowledge addenda 1 and 2. Their form for bid is signed. Their bid proposal certification, payment of prevailing wages, their bid bond, and certificate of eligibility and DCAM update. Kenny Masonry out of Amherst, Mass. They have bid $69,750. Acknowledge addenda 1 and 2. Their bid bond is here. Their bid proposal certification, their wage certification, their certificate of eligibility, and their contractor update statement. Next, I have P.J. Spillane out of Everett, Mass. They have bid $73,300. Acknowledge addenda 1 and 2. They're assigned their bid bond is attached, their certificate of eligibility, and their update statement. I have Chapman Waterproofing Company out of Holbrook, Mass. They have bid $73,175. Acknowledge all the addendums. Their update statement, certificate of eligibility, and bid bond are attached. We have Northern Contracting Corporation out of Canton, Mass. They've bid $64,100. They're restricted to Northern Contracting Corp. The proposal certification, bid bond, certificate of eligibility, and DCAM update statement are included. Their bid is intact. And we have the Waterproofing Company out of Boston, Mass. They have bid $39,500. Addendas acknowledged. They may only be used with Greenwood Industries. proposal. Their bid bond is attached, the certificate of eligibility, and their update state. Our next category is plumbing. The first bid is from Robert W. Irvine and Sons out of Lynn, Massachusetts. They've bid $39,990. Acknowledge the addenda, 1 and 2. Their bid bond is attached. All their certifications are attached. Their certificate of contract of eligibility and their DCAM update statement is attached. Next I have Neeland Plumbing and Heating out of Rowley, Mass. They have bid $55,300. Acknowledge addenda 1 and 2. Their bid bond is attached, their certificate of eligibility, and their update statement. Next, I have Arajo Brothers Plumbing out of New Bedford, Massachusetts. They have bid $49,800. Acknowledge the addenda. Bid bond is attached, their certificate of eligibility, DCAM update statement, and all other bid proposal forms are signed. Patrick J. Kennedy and Sons out of Boston. They've bid $59,000. Acknowledge the addenda. Bid bond is included, certificate of eligibility, update statement. Also, all other required forms are signed. Our next trade is electrical. We have Hub Electric Incorporated out of Woburn, Mass. They have bid $20,700. Their bid bond is attached, their certificate of eligibility and update statement and other required forms are signed. Sparks Company Incorporated out of Little Compton, Rhode Island. They have bid $30,705. Acknowledge the addenda. Their bid bond is included. Their certificate of eligibility and update statement and other required forms are signed. Ray Crow 2 Electric out of Palmer, Mass.
All right. You got a left. We usually have used.
They have bid $29,700. Addenda is acknowledged. Forms are signed. Their certificate of eligibility is attached. Update statement. And I do not see a bid bond included. I will further check. Bright Light Electrical Company out of Weymouth, Mass. They have bid $26,790. Acknowledge the addenda. They are excluding themselves from GVW, the Grace Thornton Company, and GTC Construction Management.
You don't like, GVW, Bright Light?
Their bid bond is attached.
GVW, we're gonna bid a roof job? We're gonna bid the job. I know, but why are they restricted?
Other forms of signed certificate of eligibility and DCAM update statement. Anisi Electric Services out of Weymouth.
I hope we didn't say CC.
They've bid $54,220. Acknowledge the addenda. Forms assigned. Their bid bond is attached. Their certificate of eligibility and rate statement. CDS Contracting Services out of Holbrook, Mass. They have bid $26,600. Acknowledge the addenda. The signed forms are attached. Bid bond, certificate of eligibility, and update statement. I have MV Electrical Contractors out of Ashenay, Massachusetts. They have bid $17,975. They acknowledge the addenda. Forms assigned, bid bond. Update statement and certificate of eligibility are included. Next, we have the bids for the HVAC. I have Patrick J. Kennedy and Sons out of Boston, Mass. They've bid $121,000. Addenda is acknowledged. Bid forms are signed. Bid bond is attached. Certificate of eligibility and update statement. G&H Heating and Cooling out of East Freetown, Massachusetts. They have bid $56,500. Acknowledge the addenda. They're excluded from Northern Contracting Corp. and Builder Systems Incorporated. Their forms are signed, their bid bond is attached, their certificate of eligibility, and their update statement. Ambient Temperature Corp. out of Newburyport, Massachusetts. They have bid $46,000, acknowledge the addenda. Their forms are signed, bid bond, and their certificate of eligibility and update statement. Apex Corporation out of North Abington, Mass. They've bid $64,300. Addenda is acknowledged. Bid forms are signed. Their bid bond is attached. Let's see. Their update statement. And their certificate of eligibility. That is the last bid for today.
Okay, thank you. I'll wait a motion, take it under advisement.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we take the aforementioned bids under advisement to report out at a later date.
I'll second the motion, and Nancy did a nice job.
Thank you, Peter.
Is Jean McLeish with you?
Yes, she is.
Good job, both of you.
Hi, Jeannie.
Hi, Peter. Thank you.
Okay, there's a motion made and seconded to take the bids under advisement and refer them to the Aggie School. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Contract awards, we have none. We have report of the RSVP Director. Robert, please.
Yes, good afternoon, Commissioners.
Hi, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
Hi. Glad to be here with all of you, and I don't think
Hi,
I've
it's Kevin
ever...
with Safe Harbor again. How you doing?
Hi, I don't think
Hey
I've
there.
ever heard such a... Can everybody hear me?
Yep.
Yeah, talk a little louder if you can.
Okay, I'm boosting up the volume. Is that better?
Yes.
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 Okay. Okay, so we, as usual, have a lot of different balls in the air for RSVP. I'm going to work on the highlights of our items, and you have in front of you a lot of details and statistics. So the first thing I am going to mention is that we are going to hold a holiday drive to support our troops. This is going to be our 4th year of doing so. And the towns of Dedham, Norfolk, Weymouth, and Walpole are participating. And as of yesterday, I was happy to hear through Dale Kurtz that it's likely that Franklin is going to join us as well. We are collaborating with Cape Cod Cares for our troops, the same organization we worked with last year, so that we could do a caravan of dropping down a few thousand personal care items that'll be distributed to our troops the first week of January. During this time of COVID, we've made arrangements with our partners to pick up, rather to have barrels in their vestibules so that people can, while wearing masks, drop items off. And for our own office, we're going to be by appointment only for people to call, and we will go down and get items. One unusual activity that is new for us due to COVID is we've hosted a Western Gunslinger series, which is a lot of fun. One of our volunteers through Zoom just started giving presentations on the good guys and bad guys of the Wild West. I think there's some bad gals in there too, if Annie Oakley is considered a bad gal. And we have 27 county participants that are signed up to do 12 sessions, each focused on a particular good guy or bad guy. I now want to focus on the newsletter that you have in front of us. We have sent out our September-October newsletter direct mail to 500 volunteers, and partner sites. And one thing you will notice is a large new name and logo for our grantor. It had been National Senior Corps, and now it is renamed AmeriCorps Seniors, where the plan is to do a major PR and marketing effort nationally so that we really become known as a national organization, each with our own community focus, where our sponsor is, of course, the Norfolk County Commissioners. For those of you that don't know, I'm holding up the newsletter. Hopefully you could see the logo in front of you at this moment. Also highlighted in the newsletter, which is a touching story, we are remembering one of our veteran riders named Dave Constantine. And I've shared over time many just amazing stories, veterans stepping up to help other vets or non-vets stepping up to help veterans. And this fella, David, had been struggling for a long time, and he was using the ride for a while, and before he contacted us or knew about us, to get to his dialysis appointments. And he was in a wheelchair, and he was also overweight. And apparently, due to the regulations, they would drop him off at the bottom of his house, where he would be forced to try to climb up the hill himself with his walker, and at times actually needed to call the fire department to help him get in because it was so arduous. So as soon as we heard from David, we put out the word to our drivers, and one of our drivers, who I'll call Mal, jumped right up very easily to meet with David 3 times a week, and he developed a friendship with David. And not only did he do the drives, but he sat for another hour most days with David in the nice weather. And David has a place in my heart because this was a person with a good amount of hardship that was realized, and yet he was always very gentle and gracious. And I heard from Mal that he was very moved, that David was very moved when Mal went out of his way to just move the trash cans to the front or back again. So we're remembering David, who did die, not from COVID, but after a long illness. And we are featuring this little story in our newsletter, and Mal did go to his funeral. Another thing featured in our newsletter is, for the first time in my tenure during the history that I know of our SVP, is that our program received a plaque. We received an award from our new community partner, the Massachusetts Association for the Blind and Visually Impaired, also known as MABV, for being their best new partnership in this past year due to COVID, where we've matched 10 to 12 volunteers over the telephone to be friendly visitors for individuals who are blind and visually impaired. And it was especially a surprise because 20 years ago I used to work for this organization. And it's just been nice to come full circle and find new ways to support folks in Norfolk County and be recognized in this way. Okay, moving on from our newsletter, I do want to mention that we have further adapted in this time of COVID, where so many of our volunteers have not been able to participate in senior centers, go back to the hospitals to volunteer. and we have primarily expanded, in addition to friendly visiting, to remote English as a second language and remote elementary school tutoring. And I want to give a lot of kudos to Chris Goldsmith for successfully having launched the first program with the Wilkins School, Wilkins Elementary School, where five volunteers are currently involved with remote learning, working with teachers and students. We expect to have another 5 in queue from other schools that haven't restarted. That Wilkins School, by the way, is in Stoughton. And also now Chris is beginning, taking the beginning steps with Academy Avenue School in Weymouth to be able to work with them. They are primarily using the Google Meet platform because it's a lot safer platform than Zoom. And so we've been taking it on ourselves to do trainings of Zoom with volunteers before turning them over to the school site. So again, I want to thank Chris for all of his efforts in speaking to other RSVP directors across the state. None of them are as far along as we are with any elementary schools. As you can imagine, the schools are having a tough time in learning how to do this remote or hybrid learning. And I'm pleased that our volunteers are able to be part of it. A couple things to finish up with. We have a new partnership with the Boston Chinatown Neighborhood Center in Quincy, as well as the Quincy Community Action Program for ESOL. We only had a partnership with QCAP for the food pantry before, and we have recruited volunteers for those 2 organizations, new partners, and fairly soon I expect we're going to be latching up with literacy volunteers of Massachusetts through the Stoughton Library, which also covers Canton and other areas. It'll be interesting to see what their volunteer training is like, because they are known to have a very vigorous 12-hour volunteer orientation. So we'll see what they have in store for new volunteers we bring in. One other story that's worth mentioning is, as you know, because we network through Dale and through all the VSOs, because we have such a vigorous veterans support program at RSVP with our rides program, one of our drivers came to us, said they wanted to help a neighbor on the Cape whose husband had recently died a week after they had installed a new disabled ramp for him. And neighbors were complaining it was an eyesore and she didn't need it anymore. So he called me if I could help, and I got on the horn with the head of a group called Thanks to Yanks, who we've collaborated with before on the South Shore. And within a week, they found a disabled vet to inherit this ramp, free of charge, a brand new metal ramp. And they had folks come over, disassemble it quickly, and just such a win-win situation for people. So we're always glad when, just through our networking, other things pop up that we can be involved in. So I will lastly say, with our grantor, it's a very active time for half-year progress reports, financial reports. Those are both done for the April second year of our 3-year grant schedule. And we are meeting double the amount of time that we normally would with our advisory board over Zoom, because people are more scattered. We want to be more connected. We want to find ways to reach out more to our volunteers, many of who haven't been active since March. And one thing we're planning because of that, since we didn't have a volunteer recognition event, is we are going to organize a thank you through the mail of grocery store gift cards, probably from Star or Stop and Shop. I've contacted both of them. I haven't heard back from Stop and Shop after 3 calls, so I'm working more on Star, and hoping that they'll pitch in some money as well as money that we have available for this gift item, and have a nice card printed up of thank you for your service and for holiday wishes to send out sometime in December. So you know me, I could go on and on. Those, I'd say, are the highlights. You see statistics there. We are, about 14 of our 38 partner sites are active right now. And as is typical for the Northeast, we have about 25 to 27% of volunteers active during this time. That's my report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Any comments, Commissioner Collins?
Nice job, Robert. And also nice job to Chris, too.
Yep.
Thank you. Thank you, Commissioner.
Commissioner Shea?
No, just that as usual, you know, they're keeping the ship together, and I know, Robert, it's pretty hard in these troubled times to COVID because the communication becomes so much more difficult, but it's great to see that you're able to keep the ship afloat. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Glad we could do it.
Thank you, Mr. Shea. And one veteran, speaking to our veterans, I thank you for taking care of our veterans and thinking of our veterans. And you'll say, and if you see a vet, say thank you to him. And thank you for the report, and thank you for you and Ken, all you do for Norfolk County. We appreciate it very much, Robert.
You're very welcome, Commissioner O'Brien. Thank you. Thank you all.
Next on the agenda is I'll wait a motion to approve the sick time donation for the Norfolk County Aggie School employee for approval.
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve the donation of sick time for a non-union employee at the agricultural school by 3 other non-union employees.
Second.
There's a motion made and seconded to approve the sick time donation to the Norfolk County Agricultural School for an employee who is non-union. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. What we have here, and the next one is a revised public hearing date. We went through the public hearing data, Mass General Laws 34, Section 14, related to the leases of the county-owned premises in the town of Walpole. So I believe what they're looking for now, after the county director checked out the statutes, I think he wants to move it to November 19th. Do you want to say a couple of words on that, Director Mullen?
Yes, if I could, Chairman. As you mentioned, we do have to follow the state law, like as it relates, to advertising in 2 newspapers and 2 occasions, the public hearing notice. In order to fulfill that requirement and to implement it, I am asking that the commission is officially schedule the public hearing in the town of Walpole for Thursday, November 19th, 2020, at 7 p.m. As you may recall, last week you approved a hearing notice with a November 12th date. Really the hearing notice hasn't changed. The only thing that is different is a new date, again, of Thursday, November 19th, 2020, at 7 p.m., and that is going to be a Zoom public hearing.
Do I wait a motion?
I'll make a motion, Mr. Chairman, that we approve the posting and acknowledgement of a public hearing to be held on Thursday, November 19th, at 7 p.m. on the proposed lease of 2 county-owned premises in the town of Walpole to Kearsarge Energy LLC. No change since last week, just a change of date. Move
Second.
approval.
Motion made and seconded to change the date of the public hearing to November 19th for the relaying proposed leases of county-owned premises on land in the town of Walpole. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, it is a vote. Thank you. Fiscal year 221 revenue and expenditure status update, Director Mullen.
Yes, and thank you, Chairman. As you know, we have a FinCom and Advisory Board meeting this evening, and and as part of that, we're going to be presenting an update on the county's fiscal year 21 budget. Where we stand with revenues, where we stand with expenses, and I'm very happy to say, and proud to say, because it's been a lot of work with everyone, that our 2021 budget and our fiscal health this year remains in very good stead. It's early as 3 months in, having only officially actually gone through 3 months of the fiscal year so far. It's early to assess our revenue picture as of right now. But what we do know is that the registry revenues have far exceeded projections. In both the recording fee transactions, the deed excise, we are a little down in terms of where we're trending in terms of online fees, but the recording fee revenues in the deed excise revenues, in my opinion, we don't have any idea what the winter months or what another round of COVID will entail. In this, in my opinion, again, puts us in a very good place to absorb, any slower months, that we might have. So, that is very good news. As you know from last week, we have in place a process where the sheriff's MOE agreement between the state, between the county, the retirement system, in PARAC is being processed, and that accounts for $1.65 million of budgeted FY21 revenue. That is good news. The state has been making very timely trial court payments, so that is helping our revenue situation. In the first installment of county assessments are due on November 1st from our 28 constituent communities. And I expect, good things there. At last week's meeting, we heard an update on presidents, golf course relating to expenditures and revenues. As was reported, actually last week, their expenditures are trending on track. In their overall revenue, is down only $945 when we compare it to this time last year. So that is also good news. One thing that I imagine coming before the commissioners, in the next few weeks, however, is an amended agreement with the View Restaurant that deals with calendar year 20 and calendar year 21. As we know, the restaurant industry, is almost a whole new industry now, and what, it has, it has to deal with. And we've been working with the View, in an effort, to adjust, and reflect the challenges that they've been facing as well. In terms of generally speaking, the expense lines, when we do get the CARES Act and the federal reimbursements, where we do, and where we are looking at the backfill, as in maintenance, obviously we have had to spend a lot of money on plexiglass, on sanitizer and dispensers, on employee PPE, on electrostatic sprays, on air quality testing, duct cleaning, and then and then also for legal services, around the multitude of employment and labor related issues that the pandemic has and will continue to cause. And we expect to be able to present to the county commissioners, and to the advisory board, a plan for that funding, for those reimbursements, hopefully in late November for the December advisory board meeting. So, all in all, I know at the end of the last fiscal year, as we approached fiscal year 21, there were a lot of questions about what FY21 and even FY22 will entail. We've been extremely diligent, in managing our budget, very carefully. The school has as well, and I really want to thank Tammy and Rick and their staff for that as well. But it's been a long, almost 8 months of this, and I'm afraid that we have some time to go. However, we're working hard. And I do think really, despite the challenges that we're facing, we are in good shape right now. So I just wanted to provide that update, Mr. Chairman, and I'd be happy to take any questions.
Okay, that concludes your report.
Yes, I can. In terms of my report, if I can just actually jump into that really quick, I just want to provide a really quick update that sometime in the next few weeks, we expect the architect who's been working on and assessing the dome and the roof at Superior Court. She has all but finalized her report. And she sent it over to us early in the week. We have begun very initially to go through the report. However, we are inviting her to an upcoming county commissioners meeting where she can present an overview of the report and her recommendations to the county commissioners as well. And I'm excited for that. And then the other thing I just want to mention is the fact that there is a lot of focus, and there will continue to be, a lot of focus on the work that the Abrahams Group, is doing and will be doing, over the next 5 to 6, 7 months, and there's a lot of answers, frankly, that, a lot of us want immediately. And I understand why we want those answers immediately. However, at the end of the day, I would really ask everyone to be patient. And remember, this is a significant undertaking. And it's costing $75,000 to do. And it's looking, and really what the project is a top to bottom review of everything we do, as a county. And the reality is we're not going to be able to turn different, parts of this around overnight, or even in a few weeks. We're looking holistically, and I know really the Abrahams Group wants to do that as well. So, I would just urge a lot of caution, that we do let the process really play out, and that we give it the time and the patience, and the respect it deserves, and to have, an analysis happening that we're paying for, and then to have, 3 other conversations about the very same issues happening at the very same time. Just in my opinion alone, I don't think that's going to be helpful or healthy, to what we're trying to do here. So I just want to mention that as a personal comment. I'm approaching this very open-ended and objectively. And I hope we all do as we go forward, Mr. Chairman. So with that, that is all I have.
Yeah, thank you, Director Mullen. Any comments, Commissioner Collins?
Nice job, Mike.
Thanks, Peter.
Shay?
just as far as the Abrams Group goes, I don't, if we get a question about whether it's going to rain next Friday, I don't want to just refer everything to the Abrams Group either. I mean, we're, as this meeting well indicates, we're alive and well and thriving. It's just that we have some standard age-old questions that have been laying around, and I think it's time to address them. I mean, we're going to have a new county treasurer. We're going to have 2 county commissioners elected next week. We're going to have some changes, and as we hit the turn, with all the work that's been done the last few years on the budget and the questions that have risen, even after we voted certain things, people would revert back to the old way. I just think it's a good time to look at everything. It doesn't mean in the end that the decision doesn't rest with us and then all of the other department heads, because it still does. So I just want to caution everyone that, I think we're earnest and honest about this. I know that we are, and I kind of look forward to it, but I don't want to make them the end all and the be all either. I don't know whether it's going to rain next Thursday, but we don't need to ask them. That's all.
Yep. Thank you, Commissioner Shea. I'd just like to add a little bit that I've been here 18 years, and for 18 years I have heard the county is in tough shape and going out of business. 18 consecutive years. So the county is in good shape. The county is in good hands with good commissioners and a good director and assistant director and good employees. The county is going nowhere but up, and Norfolk County is here to stay. And I know there's a lot of work at it, but I know we can do it. We've done it for more than that with Peter Collins here, so many years more than me. But with that having said, and before we adjourn, I wish Commissioner Shea the best. Commissioner O'Brien is off the ballot, so I expect you to be number 1 now, Commissioner Shea.
Oh, thank you.
And I'm sure you will. And good luck, whoever's going to be the second one. I have no idea. But with that, thank you, Director Mullen, and just keep moving forward, and let's keep our chin up for Norfolk County. I'll wait a motion for adjournment.
I'll make a motion we adjourn, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Okay, there's a motion made and second we adjourn. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? It is a vote. Thank you, and have a great day.
Thank you. Stay safe.
Nice job, Fran.